Hey, I'm your host, Anthony Tank Mansfield, and with you today is,
Josh Wilson.
and this is What You Into.
What you into? What you into?
All right, we're back in the basement. Let's do this. Josh, dude, thank you so much for coming on the show and being here, and I appreciate you.
Happy to be here, man. Thanks for inviting me to your wonderful basement and all this beautiful can and bottle art surrounding us.
I'm always stoked when I get to talk to somebody else who's into beer and I'm going to say this, you're into it professionally. I'm going to also guess personally.
Oh yeah. Started off personal and enjoying it, and maybe enjoying it too much, and it's like, well, maybe I should start saving some money on this stuff somehow.
Start making it myself.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of beer bottle art, can art, all that stuff. There's just so much cool stuff, and especially with the different number of breweries there are now, everybody's got their own personality, and they got to figure out how to stick out on the shelf. So yeah, I just love all the artwork and stuff. I just can't bring myself to throw it away because there's just so much cool shit.
Yeah, there's some really, really cool ones. One that really comes to mind is they're a horror-based brewery. I can't remember where they're from. I want to say somewhere in the Carolinas, but it's Nightmare Brewing.
Oh, I know Nightmare.
Oh
yeah.
man, they have some. It's kind of graphic and gory. But
Yeah.
that's one of the cooler ones that I've seen in the last 4 or 5 years, as far as like a branding that revolves around can design.
Yeah, it's not often that you see a company where it's like, we need more arterial spray on our cans. And they're like, no, come on. You really, like, we got to slash some heads off,
Yep.
get in there. Like, they have, like, drawn and quartered,
Yeah.
like, all these, like, different, like, medieval torture things for their for their beer
The
names.
Fillet Man or something like that. I can't remember where. That's kind of got like the skin coming off. Yeah, it's pretty wild. But yeah, it's cool to see and know somebody, because I do the same thing. I've got some old beer cans. I like to collect local Scentsy stuff for the most part. Sitting around at the house, and every once in a while I'll look up and say, oh yeah, I remember when I drank those beers.
Hey, since we're talking, like, shitty ways to die via torture, do you have a way you would not want to be tortured to death?
Oh man. Besides waterboarding,
Waterboarding be rough.
Yeah.
The brass bull seems pretty awful.
yeah,
Getting cooked alive in something.
yeah, that would be pretty bad. My big thing is, like, I guess my biggest fear would be like not being able to breathe. You know what I mean?
That would
like,
suck.
because you would sense it coming. You know what I mean? Like, this is my last one. So yeah, and you try to take that deep one, and it's like, I can't. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And fill it with water or gas or whatever it is. Those that would probably be the most terrifying. And then I always, we were talking about pro wrestling before before we started the podcast here, and one of my favorite. He was a terrible wrestler, but I always liked him as a kid, was Lex Luger, and he'd had the torture rack.
Hell yeah, the torture rack.
And then I found out what the torture rack was, and I was like, oh, yeah, let's not die that way.
It's a horrible way to go. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do any of the ones where it's like a prolonged thing, like the stuff where they would like stick you out in a fucking canoe and they would just like drill holes for your arms and legs and like cover you in honey so bees and shit and like flies land on you and start eating you. Like, no, give me draw and quarter eight. Like, it would suck, but it's a quick over with suck.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's, like you said, quick and, in theory, painless.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as much as it can be, although then it's like one of those things where like, is it true where like your brain is like slow mowing it and trying to keep a hold of it? I just don't want to end up in either of these positions. is what
No,
I'm
none
trying
of
to
these
say.
sound any. I'd rather just be in my bed.
Yeah, no, yeah.
peacefully, laying
Chilling.
next to my dog or something.
Hell yeah. All right, listener, we're avoiding torture. But you know what you should do is instead of thinking of ways to horrifically kill us, you should go check out our social media. You know where to find me at Neil to Know on Instagram. You can find Josh on Instagram at Lord_Duckworth, which, by the way, must follow. Dude, I love following you on IG. I love your how did you come up with the concept of like pretty much everything is like you directly talking to the viewer?
I'm just, I've been in the brewing industry for a little over 8 years now, And the first 4 years of it, I worked alongside many people and learned from some of the best brewers in the city, in my opinion. And then the last 2 to 3 years, I've been working a lot more on my own. So it's one of those things like I'd be in at work, especially when I was working at 50 West over in Marymount. I'd be in there at 4 a.m. sometimes, and wouldn't see anybody for the next 3.5 hours. So you're just having fun, blaring music, just, hey, reminder to have an awesome day. You're kick ass, kick today's ass, that type of thing. Trying to keep everything positive. It's brewing's it's my passion and I love it to death, but it's not easy and you just got to stay positive.
Yeah.
You're going to have issues just like anything else, but it's a lot more manual fixing of issues in the brewing world. So that's kind of where it all started with me, was stay positive and try to spread those vibes, man.
Do you prefer being a night owl or an early bird?
Early bird. I like to, especially during the summertime. Like, I hate the summer. I'm more of a winter, fall kind of guy. Like, I love the snow and all that. So once it gets above 70, 72 degrees, I turn into a grumpy old man. And so when going in at 4 a.m., it was always nice because I'd be off at noon, 1 o'clock at the latest, go home, sit in air conditioning all day, and that type of thing. But now with my new job that I started at 16 Lots Brewing this year up in Mason, and we have a new place down in Newport on the levee. There's air conditioning in there, so I really don't complain too much about the heat or time of day that I have to work, any of that stuff.
What a difference air conditioning makes, especially when you're working in like a brewery where you got so much hot shit around you constantly. Yeah,
boiling sugar water.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, oh, big time, man. I was especially like at, for instance, at 50 West, it was a very, very manual brewery. Like you've seen the big old mash paddles that brewers used to use way back in the day. That's how we would, mix up our grain and water, was with a mash paddle. I'm 5'9", I'm not a tall man, but I used, the mash paddle was nearly 6 feet tall.
Damn.
So I'd reach it in and, reach to the far side of the mash tun and mix up the grain and water, and it would be, it'd be pretty hellacious. I'd be pouring sweat already at 4:30 in the morning, and but listen to metal, hip hop, whatever it is, always made life a little easier for me.
It's like it was like fucking Action Bronson workouts, like a mace or something, where it's just like, look, we're gonna just do this, and it's functional and fitness at the same time.
For sure, yeah. That's watching his videos with those maces. It's pretty cool to see. It's really cool to see his body transformation, but
100%.
It's cool to see him show these new. I wouldn't say they're new technique because they're old techniques,
right?
But they're more modernized now.
Yeah,
and it's cool to see that type of thing. So
agreed. Yeah, it's kind of weird to see like the how things have progressed in terms of like working out and stuff, because for a while it was like there really wasn't much of anything, and then you kind of started to get into like powerlifting and stuff in like the 50s and 60s. People kind of started to figure out, the Russians started to figure it out, kettlebells, stuff like that. And then like in the 80s, you see like Nautilus machines and stuff.
Yep.
And then after that, like you do see kind of a return to like, then you see like a mix in gyms from the 90s forward of like machines and barbells. But you're right. Now we're starting with like companies like On It and other people are starting to bring like kettlebells, maces, sandbags, tires, sledgehammers, all that stuff into it.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see like these like non-traditional methods of working out you can do now.
Yeah, it's something useful. It's not, hey, I'm just going to sit underneath this bench and grab a bar and push it up and down a couple of times. It's I used to work out pretty heavily that way, and then I found beer. But no, if I ever got back into it, it'd be those types of things. I did kettlebells when I was working out pretty hard, but never got into the maces or anything like that. And I've always found those fascinating.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm moving to now, is in that direction, because I've gotten bored with like traditional lifting, and I'm like, okay, what can I do? It's something I haven't done, because dude, I mean, there's only so many times you can do like a military press. It's just after a while, it's like, this is kind of old hat. I'm kind of losing the love for it. What can we do to like change this up?
And not to mention, your body's going to start saying, "Hey, bro, I'm used to this."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like working every day and in the heat every single day, your body just gets used to it and adjusts to it. So whenever you're just doing free weights or military press every day, or not necessarily every day but 3 days a week or whatever, you're not going to see any growth or anything like that. But if you introduce those new old
Yeah.
things, you know what I mean, that changes.
Agreed. And you're right, man. The adaptability of the human body is wild. Like the shit you get used to after a while. I always think of that in the winter where, at the beginning of winter, it's like maybe like, it dips into 50 and I'm like, oh, I'm so cold. But by fall, I'm like, it's not fall, but like right now, February, like I'm walking outside, like, shorts, a hoodie, that's it.
Yeah, house shoes.
Yeah,
for
house
sure,
shoes.
yeah.
Like unless it's like snowing or it does get down into the 20s or something, I'm like, I'm just kind of used to it at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's the thickening and thinning of the blood. It was funny as I mentioned that I hate the heat. I lived in Arizona for 4 years in Phoenix,
What are you doing?
right? And yeah, it was not the. I just wanted a different change of scenery or whatever, and
Fair.
and when I first moved there, I couldn't even deal with the winters. You know what I mean? Winter now at night it gets down to 30, 40 degrees or whatever, but it's still 70, 80 degrees in the wintertime during the day, and my blood thinned out.
Yeah.
Eventually I was like, oh, it's not terribly hot out here, that type of thing. But I missed Ohio and missed the seasons, and had some family issues and moved back.
Came back. Okay, well. I mean, yeah, that is one thing about Ohio. You do get all the seasons, although right now it is changing a little bit.
Yeah.
But you get a lot of seasons in Ohio, a little bit of everything. Sometimes it's wet, sometimes it's dry, sometimes it snows, sometimes it's sunny, there's hail. I mean, you're going to get
Get
everything.
all four in one day sometimes.
Sometimes, 100%. Totally agree. Well, okay, other stuff to plug at 16 Lots Brewing on Instagram, and Fifth Line FCC is also where we can find you at on there as well. Well, hey man, let's talk about this real quick. So we've hit upon the brewery thing a little bit. You working for various breweries, making beer. What about being on the other side of the bar? Is there breweries that you like to visit or festivals you like to go to? Like, what do you do when you're not the guy in charge?
So when I first got into beer, it was hops. Give me all the hops, IPAs, the Bell's Two Hearted, things like that. And as I, spent more time in the industry, I kind of moved from hops and into stouts a little bit, and more of a malt forward drinker. Now it's lagers, any Pilsner lager, anything that is crisp, dry, and I really don't have to think too much about. That's the type of stuff that I drink. There's multiple breweries here in the city that I really, really enjoy visiting. I'm very lucky. We're damn near neighbors. I mean, I'm 4-minute drive from you, and we're very lucky to have two of, in my opinion, the best breweries in the city with High Grain and Nine Giant.
So great.
Both of those guys make incredible beers. They make beers that were the type of beers that I was drinking when I first got into the industry, or when I first got into craft beer 12, 13 years ago. But they also can make those classic, clean, awesome lagers that are just, you drink 4 or 5 of them and you want 2 more, But those are my 2 favorite breweries in the city. I really enjoy a lot of other guys though. Big fan of West Side.
Nice.
I wish I could make it out there more, but it's so far away.
They've done a really good job of becoming like such a cool neighborhood spot over there. Because if you're on the west side, you rep that brewery.
Oh, big time. I mean, there's not a whole lot of them over there, which is very strange to me because we're so, everything's so north and east, and obviously downtown. But
Right.
Once you get out of downtown or like north side or anything like that, it's it's all north and east part of the city. And I think there's a lot within that 275 loop on the west side. A lot of people would really love, even if it's just a small little, brewery that, they don't make cans or anything like that. It's just, you go in, there's good food, good beer. So, as far as like beer festivals, there's a really good one. Why can't I think of the name of it off the top of my head? Oh man, It's actually funny enough. It's between High Grain and Nine Giant.
Dankfest.
Dankfest.
Dude, my favorite.
Love
Dankfest is my favorite festival of the year.
So much fun.
It's so great.
And I love both those guys. They're all those guys that, own and operate and brew at those places. I mean, it's a pretty close knit community in the beer world. And I love Dankfest. It's so much fun.
It's so much fun. I love both of those breweries and how talented their kitchen is. Like Christian over at High Grain is just a mad genius, and the stuff that they think up for each year of like these different like high like they're stoner foods, but they're like a very good idealized version of from a scratch kitchen stoner food.
I think one of my favorite things in the city is that Crunch Wrap.
Yep.
That they have, and I think that originated at a Dankfest a couple of years ago. I'll probably eat 2 or 3 of those Crunch Wraps a month, and I don't even like Taco Bell's Crunch Wraps. You know what I mean? I love those Crunch Wraps from High Grain. They're pretty killer.
Yeah, those things kill. They're great, and I really dig down at Nine Giant, like just the way, just number one, their kitchen, of course, but now with the fermentorium that they have, and like the cool tiki bar drinks you can get there, which is something
cocktails.
You don't normally get to have at breweries, which is fun.
Yeah.
And plus you get fun glasses, which is the best part about drinking tiki stuff is you're going to get blacked out and you get to have a cool glass while you do it. Yeah. So come on, what's not to love here?
Yeah, for sure. Another festival that I really enjoy as far as beer goes, obviously Beer Fest. Mm-hmm. I'm more of a winter Beer Fest kind of guy.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it down at the convention center, and it's good to get people out during the colder months type of thing. Years ago, when I was at 50 West, we used to have adult tricycle or big wheels. Mm-hmm. And there was like we would have 3 of them, and we'd do big race around the inside the convention center. That was a lot of fun, but that one's more for like seeing the people that I know in the industry, as opposed to like enjoying, being there, because it's hard work. That festival is such hard work, man.
What's take us behind the scenes? Like, what makes it hard? Is it just producing enough beer for it, or just like all the movement and the stuff you got to bring in?
It's the movement and the setup, the planning. It's hey, we got to have a really cool beer on tap at Beer Fest. Mm-hmm. It's not like when you make a beer when you have Beer Fest, Cincy Beer Fest coming up, you want to be one of those breweries that people talk about. You know what I mean? Like, hey, did you taste that? Mm-hmm. For instance, the beer I think that won my favorite beer at Beer Fest was that 2 weekends ago, I guess, maybe last weekend, was the Third Eyes walnut beer. Mm-hmm. They have a black walnut beer. It's a brown or something like that. It was to die for.
Nice.
I said, oh my, how are you? I looked over at the brewer Kelly Montgomery, said, what are you doing over here, man? But that I think is kind of getting lost a little bit in the beer scene. I think that it's like I'm obviously a beer nerd, and I think beer nerds kind of look at it that way. Like, hey man, this is kind of a competition type of thing.
Yeah.
But I think that the average Joe Schmo just goes there and drinks the beer because it's cool type of thing. It's not who has the best beer. You know what I mean? So, but those are probably my two favorite beer festivals in the city.
Yeah, I like them both, and they're both a little different. Well, they're very different from each other.
Yeah,
and I think it is part of the thing with having a good beer festival is doing something where like it stands out and it's a little different than everything else that's going on. I think it's also one of the reasons why like people have gotten into Bachfest over the years is because of like, again, it's kind of like Cincy Winter Beer Fest where it's like people hibernate in Ohio in January and February, but kind of stays inside. Yep. It's cold, it's icy, nobody really wants to go out. But the Beer Fest gets you out in late January, early February, and then Bachfest is like the first weekend in March, and sometimes it's nice and sometimes it's snowy. Yep. But there's monks and there's goats and sausage queens, and it's fucking weird, and people have a good time.
Yeah, the parade, man. That I did it for a couple of years when I was at 50 West, and man, those things. Like, who was it? Somebody had a like this giant float, I guess you would say. Wings that were, a span of the downtown street, all black, people dressed up in like gothic stuff, playing what are the guys who sing Du Hast?
Oh, Rammstein.
Like Rammstein and blaring, just it's if you've never been to Bachfest, I highly recommend you check out the parade. That's my favorite part of Bachfest. I forgot all about Bachfest, and it's coming up and everything. Not to mention it's my box, Doppelbox. Those are my probably two of my favorite styles of beer as well.
And isn't there a wild part about that festival is you go there and there's like 20 box on tap and they're all like 8%. And it's like, all right, man, like I'm not here for a long time, but I'm here for a good time.
Exactly.
Like, let's go, let's chill.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah. Yeah, you bring up the parade thing. I'm usually not one for a parade, but the Bachfest parade is cool. And then other cool stuff coming at Cincinnati opening day.
Oh yeah, man.
Wow.
That's, nothing probably in the world like it.
For baseball, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean,
And that by far is like one of my favorite things about living in this city is opening day, because I've never lived in a city before where the entire city just turns out and is like, oh my God, I'm so stoked this is happening right now. And it's just red and white from like the river all the way through downtown and the north side.
it's like growing up in southwestern Ohio, like I remember kids getting out of school.
Oh, yeah.
For opening day. It's like the first day of hunting season.
Yep,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
It is like the first day of
It's
season.
the same thing. Like, sorry, I'm not taking I'll see you guys on Tuesday or whatever day that, and it's still as big as it ever has been. That's the thing. It's like, obviously the Reds haven't been very good for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
But it's still as big as it's ever been. People still show up in tens, hundreds of thousands. I mean,
It's got to be hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
I mean, the downtown is just engulfed.
yeah, I haven't been to one since probably pre-COVID. I think the last one I went to was 2019. I plan on going this year. Every year since I've worked, so it's hard to get off of work. My old job now, it's a little bit easier for me. So I'm definitely going to be there for opening day this year.
Cool. Well, yeah, man. Well, let's talk about the main topic we're here to talk about. You being a live sports fan guy. So we could not be on more opposite ends of this. I love this. I love being in my basement. I love being on my couch. It's weather controlled. It's climate controlled. I have my beer fridge behind me. I can piss at any point. I don't run into anybody. I like the control of this. You, on the other hand, season ticket holder for the Reds and the Bengals. Why live sports, man? Like, why do you have to be at the game?
Well, I'm a season ticket member for the Reds. I mean, for
FCC and the Bengals.
And the Bengals, yeah. Reds, I'd love to have Reds tickets, but man, that's just too many games.
Yep.
But I'll be honest, what really, really, like, COVID, I worked all through COVID, so it wasn't like it affected my pocket as like many people it did, or, weren't my mind emotionally or anything like that. What it did to me was it made me miss live sports drastically, like missing going to a Bengals game. And pre-COVID, I'd probably go to like one or two games a year of the Bengals. FC, I try to get out to 10, 12 games if I could. Reds, I go to 4 or 5, whatever. And I enjoyed it, but when COVID hit, I was like, I was fiending. I started watching Marble One Racing, just to watch some kind of competition.
Yeah.
And whenever everything kind of opened back up, I said, you know what? I'm never making that, taking it for granted that this city has 3, at this time now, 3 professional sports teams. And at that time, I finally started getting more into soccer. I didn't grow up playing soccer or football, but I started getting more into it, watching it more, and went into the Bailey at TQL in 2021 and fell in love. I was like, these are my people, like rowdy, drinking, singing, just being obnoxious, yelling at the players, that type of thing. For people who don't know, the Bailey is the supporter section for FC Cincinnati. It's where all the rowdy people sit. It's where my supporter group sits, and the way, which is the Fifth Line FCC, and the way that we describe ourselves is we're a fringe group of drunkards that have one love in common, and that's FC Cincinnati. So I meet up with all my friends, go with, shoot, there's 20 of us now. We all,
nice.
sit together or stand together because it's standing room only. Sing together, wrap our arms around each other whenever we score a goal and sing together. But yeah, that really, I mean, COVID changed everything for me as far as live sports goes. I was the same way as you. I loved watching it it's always going to be a better view to watch the actual game, even if, you have 50-yard tickets for the Bengals. It's better to watch it on at home, but I just miss that outlet,
I 100% agree with everything you're saying in terms of that like energy and that feel of being in the building because you're 100% right. Like losing that during COVID, it was like one of those things where like you don't know what you got until it's gone.
Yes.
Because I remember going back to I remember going back and watching Gojira and Deftones were at the Andrew J. Brady Center, and I remember like Gojira come out and starting to play, and like
They're awesome. I love those guys.
They're
Saw them live at. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
Saw them live at Sonic Temple in 2019.
Nice.
They were awesome. I had never heard of them. I was personally, and I fell in love with them when I saw them. So
yeah, it's just incredible, like how they can play so clean and so fast and so loud at the same time. It's like normally all these things don't come together as one, but yet you guys do make this work, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
But I just remember like being in that crowd and like everybody was like headbanging along, and I just kind of like looked around and you could just like see like with the lights hitting the crowd and the silhouettes of the people, and like the room was just kind of moving as one. It was just like a wave, and it's like, oh shit, this is what I missed. I missed this energy and this feeling.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what brought me back. Like I said, in 2021, 2021, I bought season tickets for FC Cincinnati. I could afford them, and the Bailey, and it really just took off from there. The next year, I was waiting for the Bengals to fire Marvin Lewis before I gave them my support. And then once they fired Marvin Lewis, I was like, "Fuck yeah, Mike, let's go. I'll pay you my money. Give you my money now."
So how does this work with season tickets? Because like I'm used to, I get tickets, I go to one-off games, like I go to an FCC, I go to a few FCC games every year. I just get on Ticketmaster, grab my shit to go or StubHub or whatever. But how does it work for being a season ticket holder? Like, is there a certain date that you have to like contact them? Do you have like a buyer that you work with? How's this go down?
So you have to initially, now with FC Cincinnati and the Bengals, just so happens, you have to get on a waiting list to get season tickets, which is awesome. You know what I mean? It just shows that fandom's growing, the teams are better, etc. But initially it was just I sent an email to the team. Mm-hmm. They assigned me a sales rep for FC Cincinnati. Same with the Bengals, and they gave me a call. What kind of tickets do you want? Bailey. I don't want to. I'll be in the Bailey until I can't stand for 90 minutes anymore. You know what I mean? And then every year it's just, hey, you want to move your seats? No, I'm good. Mm-hmm. Renew them. I'll pay. I could either pay every month or I could pay all of it at one time. However I want to do it. So.
Is there any benefits obviously other than like you have season tickets now you're there, but like, do you get a chance to meet players or do you like get a like tour of the facilities or anything? How's that work?
Yeah. So, you get a little bit of both, at least with FC Cincinnati, a little less with the Bengals. Mm-hmm. But with FC Cincinnati, there's, pretty regularly, either like meet the team events towards the end of the season, or you could do a quick travel or a quick tour of the place. My first year, they did a meet your seat event. Mm-hmm. So if you were a brand new season ticket member, you could come into the stadium and tour the stadium, go up into the suites, everything like that. Obviously everything was closed. But then you get other options with FC Cincinnati, which I think are really, really cool. And I wish the Bengals would do more often. Last year we did what was it called? I think it was like the Bailey Happy Hour. It's called Bailey Happy Hour. And they opened up one of the suite areas mm-hmm. and invited X amount of season ticket members. I can't remember how many exactly. But they had food, drinks, etc. It was all free, and then they had Pat Noonan and Chris Albright, the head coach.
Whoa, cool!
And the GM come in and just speak to. I think there were probably 100 of us maybe in mm-hmm. there, Just what's coming up, how's the team looking, anything that on the horizon, that type of thing. That was a really cool event. And then every year they do a meet the team where you can go get your stuff signed by the players, things like that. Then with the Bengals, last season, where the ruler of the jungle throne.
I saw that. That thing was sick.
Yeah, I got to sit on that and get my photo and all that kind of stuff. So you scheduled a time for that to go in and check that thing out. The Bengals were my first love, but I do have to say that FC Cincinnati's really starting to get there because of those types of events. They really do a great job at gearing towards the fan experience. And like I said, I mean, the Bailey happy hour thing was really, really cool.
I hope that sports teams recognize that and keep doing it more, because I do think that is one thing that FC Cincinnati does really well. Is anybody that I do know that has season tickets has talked to me and been like, yeah, man, I've gotten to meet multiple players. I get to go to special events. You get to be at the stadium, and also just like the amount of feedback, like when TQO was being built, that the team wanted from the fans with like how the Bailey would look and all that kind of thing. I think it's very cool that American soccer is concerned about the fan and the fan experience, and not just coming from an angle of, I don't want to say like, I don't think the NFL is like, oh, fuck you, you'll watch whatever, we don't care. But I also don't feel like they have to try as hard as other sports because they are the king.
Yeah, I mean, it's the NFL. I mean, they're going to outsell everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think Paul Brown can hold 65,000 people this season. They probably could have put 80,000 people at every game.
Yeah,
just because luckily they're good. And when they're bad, it's a little harder. But yeah, I think American soccer is growing in that and in the right direction with that type of thing, and I'm sure that the Reds do those type of things too. I know that they do like different events that you can go out onto the field and things of that nature. It's just like I said, it's so hard. I did buy the a pick six.
Nice.
For the Reds this year, so I can go to 6 games.
Cool.
And it was really cheap. I was really surprised. But I did the Friday night games. So I got 6 Friday night games.
The City Connects.
Yeah, the City Connects, the fireworks. And I was like, man, this is actually a pretty good deal. So, but yeah, I think that the NFL has a lot, honestly, a lot to learn from what American soccer is doing. But like you said, they draw way more than American soccer ever will. So
it's true, and everything else. It's just they are the king.
Yep.
Yeah, they are. They are. You brought up talking about Great American Ballpark for a second there. One thing I love about that stadium is the fact that there's so many distinct spots you can see the game at there, because I've seen stuff in the Alta Fiber network area up top. It's like a weird little suite kind of overhanging thing. I've seen stuff from the first baseline, second baseline. I've seen stuff like being out there on the boat, the river boat. I've watched games from there.
The moon deck, it's all really cool. Yeah,
the handlebar, you know, and I do appreciate that the Reds do that every year. They try to make like these little unique individual spots where you get to watch the game at, and it kind of does give it a bit of a different flavor every time you're there.
Yeah, it's almost like each area has its own kind of culture.
Yeah.
I hate to bring FCC back up, but the Bailey is a different culture than anywhere else in the stadium.
Yes.
Like without a doubt.
100%.
And I kind of get the same vibe at like the handlebar, for instance. Like the handlebar, like you're not getting many families of 5,
right.
You know what I mean? Going to the handlebar, you're getting like 30-year-old, 20-year-old guys and girls that want to go out there and get drunk,
right.
And watch a ball game and eat peanuts and drink beers, which is completely different than watching it from the third baseline, where it's typically more, 4 or 5 people in a family type of thing.
Or the diamond seats, which that in and of itself is its own crazy experience. I got to do that one time, and man, the other half is living good.
Yeah,
because
it's quite an experience sitting down there.
Yeah. Did TQL and Paycor did the stadiums themselves influence your decision to get season tickets?
Probably TQL did, just because I think my first FC match was in 2017. And I went to the Bailey at Nippert. It was at Nippert at the time, obviously. And whenever I had heard that we're going to the MLS. I was like, that's awesome. I'm excited for that.
Yep.
It's a step up in competition, or in theory it should be. And then when they said that they were building a new stadium, I'm like, that's really cool. And then whenever actually saw it, as it was finally built on the outside at least, it was mind blowing. Like, holy shit, this thing's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then you go there at night and it's like, wait, this is beyond beautiful. It's so Paycor. I mean, I'd been going to Paycor for years as a kid. Good buddy of mine, his parents had club seats. So I had gone to 20, 25 Bengals games as a kid growing up. And I mean, the reason I do this is that's funny enough. It's the same guy that we have season tickets together. We all sit. It's a couple of us that sit together, and so like the experience there, I knew what to expect, and I will take my hat off to Katie Blackburn and then the Brown family in general for changing drastically the fan experience there. I think they're doing a great job with the game day experience. And then they're, like I said, getting to sit on the throne and kind of bringing in those really cool new aspects for fans, season ticket members, etc. But yeah, I will say that TQL, once I saw that, I said, yes, I'm getting season tickets.
Yeah, it's an incredibly beautiful stadium. I love the layout of it. I love the size of it. I feel is good. Like 20, like
it's 26,000,
Yeah.
but we say 25,513 for 513. So,
Yeah.
but it's 20. I think it holds 26,000. If I'm not mistaken.
I like the way they lay out the concourse with like the modern version of like, if you go to some place like a beer stand or like a shop or someplace, where it's kind of set up like a mall where you kind of got to step out of the concourse and then get
Yeah.
into the area you want to be in, as opposed to like when you go to Great American Ballpark, it's like an old school concourse. So like there's constantly like lines snaking into the concourse, and you're
Yeah.
like having to like wrap in between people and trying to figure out where the line's at.
Yeah, the only time that I dislike the design of the concourse at TQL is during rain delays. It's too thin for that many people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hate the Columbus Crew or the Columbus Poo. And since they built their new stadium, I've been to it, I guess, 3 times now. The only thing that I will say that I think they did a very good job, better than in Cincinnati, was the concourse. It's just wider.
Just wider,
Yeah.
so if you do have to get stuck in there, you got more room for yourself.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I enjoy. Because I go for every Hell is Real match there. And I've also been to a United States men's game. I can't remember who they played. Might have been El Salvador or something. And yeah, their concourse is just wider.
Yeah, I like both of those stadiums. I one place I can't go. I don't want to go back to. And I've talked to my dad about this. Bummers. I can't go to Ohio State anymore. Like I'm just like I talked to him. Like I'm like, look, I'm like, I love you. I like watching games. I'm like, but I'm like 240. You're 280. Like, dude, we literally cannot sit beside each other on the bench. Like,
Yeah.
I have to stand sideways the entire game. You're not comfortable.
Yeah.
And then like people are literally like the benches aren't big enough to hold us. I'm like, if I don't have my own seat, I don't want to be in the stadium.
Yeah, it's don't get me wrong, architecture, aesthetically, the place is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, stunning. Walking through the arches, all that kind of stuff. But once you get into your seats, it's pretty rough. It's really, really rough.
In the concourses downstairs, like if you go down at halftime, like you can literally end up in a line where it's just like, am I in the bathroom line? Am I in the beer line? Or am I in the food line? And you don't know because you can't tell because everything's just snaking through each other. It's not made for the amount of people that are in that building.
That and, just the modernization of things. Like, I don't think they expected...
Yeah.
Like when they built that, I didn't know. Obviously, when they built it, they didn't expect it to be 100,000 people.
Yeah.
But they didn't expect to have, 6 different places for beer and 12 different places for food
Right.
and all that. So
Yeah, or just even like being like ADA compliant. Like,
Yeah.
hey, should we put a ramp in here for wheelchairs? It's like, what's a wheelchair?
yeah, right.
It's just like it's like is a horse involved with that? It's like no, well, you'll in the future you'll see. But yeah, like it was one of those things where in the time and space it didn't know what it would become. It's the same way like if you think about East Coast cities like Boston, it's such an old city. They never imagined they'd have like 6-lane highways and fucking electronic Teslas running around. Like they didn't know that.
Yeah.
It was like a horse path.
Yeah, I mean, you look at us today too, Cincinnati. I mean, we struggle with it a little bit. I think we're better off than many other cities.
Yeah.
But it's driving down an OTR. It gets kind of difficult just to drive.
Right.
You know what I
Gets
mean?
tight.
But like over by Washington Park and all that kind of stuff, it's like this is really cool aesthetically, but it's just not ideal for the 21st century.
Yeah, brick roads. It's like, look, they look cool, but they suck to drive on. They're a pain in the ass to maintain.
Yep.
Like it's just it doesn't work.
And then we're just gonna smack a streetcar rail right in between it.
yeah, we're gonna make this permanent. No, we're never solving this. This is forever.
Yeah.
What do you think about Heritage Bank? Does it need to go? Does it stay? Do we rip it? Like, what do we do with this thing?
So the last time I was at Heritage Bank, I was actually there for a AEW show and enjoyed the show.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it's just so antiquated. It's what, over 50 years old, probably like 53 years old
It's
now.
a step back in time.
It's and it's not aesthetically like the Ohio Stadium,
Yeah.
where the architecture is beautiful and
No.
you have all these awesome archways and things like that. There's nothing aesthetically pleasing about the Heritage Bank Center. There's I guess things going on now potentially to build a new arena, potentially over by TQL Stadium.
Potentially. I've heard rumors of NHL teams. I've heard rumors of NBA teams.
I think like I love going to Cyclones games. I'm a big Cyclones fan.
Yep.
I'm not a massive hockey fan. Like I don't have an NHL team.
But if there was
if there was one in Cincinnati, you best believe I'm a season ticket member.
Yeah.
Now, I think what would really, really thrive in this city, because we've had it before, would be professional basketball.
100% agree, and I don't understand why that doesn't happen because of the cradle of basketball that we're in, where we got UD up the road,
Yep.
we got Bo Xavier and UC right here in the city, you got UK and Louisville right over there in Kentucky.
Lately NKU,
the Norse,
Wright State.
Yeah.
I mean, we're surrounded by basketball,
Yeah,
college basketball, and some of the best high school basketball in the country as well.
yeah.
Moeller is a perennial powerhouse,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that NBA basketball could work here.
I 100% agree with that statement.
It's just they can't be bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can't. They can be bad. It's just they can't be. The 1968 Bengals or the 2019 FC Cincinnati. They can't come out and just, oh well, sorry guys, we're just a new franchise, that type of thing.
We're trying to figure it out, guys.
Yeah, you got to, like, if we do that, you just won't have the following that it needs to be. But this is it's a sports town.
Yeah.
I mean, Cincinnati's a sports city, town, whatever you want to say. But it's definitely a big basketball. I mean, look at the crosstown shootout.
Yeah.
You look at any time that Elder plays Xavier and basketball, or St. X rather. Yeah, I think that the NBA would do better than the NHL, but we have proof in the pudding.
Yeah.
A little bit with the Cyclones, because I mean they're good and we do sell a lot of tickets to those games. Granted, it's most of the time for $2 beers, $1 hot dogs, and $3 sodas or whatever it is, But or the teddy bear game, I really wanted to go to that game. That one looked like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, what's the deal with that? It's like they donate the bears to a charity or something for
Yeah,
kids?
I think it's somehow tied to police officers.
Okay.
Or first responder. It's a first responder group or something, and all the stuffed animals are donated to kids. Yeah.
Well, okay, let's talk about this. You talked earlier about you like falling in love with the Bailey. You came into it. one of the things like you definitely you have a very distinctive look. I see you a lot of times like in pictures on the march, like always in the front, starting chants. Like, how did you go from like just being a guy who showed up one day and was like, oh, this is cool, to being like a person who is like literally a face of the Bailey?
So, like I said, my first experience in the Bailey was 2017. A good friend of mine, Ryan Blanford, he's been a season ticket member for FC Cincinnati since day one. You know, grew up playing soccer, has an EPL team, et cetera, et cetera. So he's a soccer fan. And then he took me into the Bailey, and I was like, dude, this is different. Like, I've been to Bengals games in the rowdy sections where they're, hooting and hollering and people are shit-faced drunk trying to fight everybody. That type. It's not that. It's a completely different experience. So 2017, 18, I went to some games, got into the Bailey, because back then it was like we were really good at the USL level.
Yeah.
Really good. And it's hard to get a ticket in there. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't get those, so I'd sit up in the nosebleeds at Nippert Stadium. And then 2019, our first MLS year, last year at Nippert, I went to probably a dozen games. I didn't make every game, but I went to a lot. Same situation, hit the Bailey sometimes. I didn't have season tickets or anything. And then 2021, I was like, I'm getting tickets. Mm-hmm. And bought tickets in the Bailey. At first, I was just trying to feel it out because it wasn't the same Bailey as it was at Nippert. It was kind of the same people, same culture. Mm-hmm. But I was trying to feel out where everything is. So I would sit, in section 108 or 109 off to the left of where the drums are, mm-hmm. one game, and then another one way down next to the field, etc. And then one game, this is when we were really, really bad. I saw an open spot, and there were like 8 to 10 of us, mm-hmm. I'd say, in my group. And I said, we can all sit right there. It was directly in front of the drums. And I sat there and had the experience of a lifetime. Finally understood the songs, the chants that we're doing. The drums are, you could feel it in your hips.
I was going to say, yeah, you got to be able to feel that just throughout your entire body.
You're shaking just because of the drums. The people stomping on the bleachers, you could feel it vibrating mm-hmm. through your legs. And I was like, dude, this is where I'm staying. You guys can go wherever you want for any game that you want. And it got to the first couple of games after that, I still stood there, and people that I came with were like, I'm going to go over here. It was a little too loud. So I was like, okay, well, they have earplugs if you need them.
Yeah.
Now I wear earplugs because, having a headache for 2 days after is not fun. But spent a lot of time just getting to know those people in the drum line. And then you kind of, at that point, I remember times being able to dance up and down the aisleway or where I was standing just because there was nobody there. We were that bad. And the people who were there, though, cared and started to become friends with those people and learned how, like I said, learn the chants more, and even started doing my own chants and singing chants for players and during warm-ups and stuff like that. And then once we got good, it exploded. And then I'm in the hype videos and, hey, Josh, get up here in the front of the, I've walked with the shield this past season and carried it in front of the march. Hey, you're carrying the shield today. Okay, cool. But yeah, it kind of it was very organic. And that's what it's kind of it's a grassroots feeling to be a part of something like that and know the people that you're doing these things with. It's not I've sat at for Bengals games, I've sat in what I consider the diehards crazy section is 158, which is where Bengal Jim, who was fan of the year in 2021, Tony the Tiger, who was fan of the year in 2023, all those established members stay there. I've sat there, and it's just it's that same thing. It's like everybody knows everybody. Hey man, I bought a back in the day it was the Coney crate, where you got like 10 conies. Hey man, I bought a Coney crate. Here you go, have a Coney. That type of thing. Hey, I'm gonna go get a beer. You want one? It's the same thing now at FC matches with many of these guys, and probably shouldn't say this, but I'll turn around to the drummers, and because the drummers get free beer, free water, stuff like that. It'll be July, and I'm just dying, pouring sweat, lost my voice, all that. Can I get a beer? And they're like, yeah, here you go. So it's definitely organic, and it's cool, and I'm very proud to be a part of it and to help it grow. It's funny because sometimes I'll be walking around the stadium, before or after the game, whatever, going to the team store, going to get a beer, and you're the guy. You're the guy. And it's the kids. They walk up, can I get a photo? It's like, yeah, man, that's cool. So
I will say one of the only good things about losing is it brings the real fans together, because the people that are on the bandwagon jump off at that time, and you figure out who the real ones are, and then that way when life is good again, you know who your real friends are.
And most of my life, Cincinnati did a lot of losing. I'm 35. I was 2 years old when we won our last championship, the World Series in 1990. So it's been a tough life, but it's been a lot of fun since we've been good, man. A lot of fun.
You're sitting across from a Browns fan, so
I know all about it.
I know a lot. I know a lot about eating shit.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I'm well aware of. Oh man, I still have PTSD from those Hugh Jackson seasons.
Oh, funny. He when he left, I was pretty upset about it.
Because why? Because you're like,
because I thought he was going to take over for Marvin. I was trying to get rid of Marvin.
Oh yeah, that's you got a bad coach when people are like, hey man, don't come over here. Because I was looking at the same thing. I'm like, we don't need more. I mean, he's stabilized, but I know, man, we don't need him. Let's keep them.
Now you got Stefanski. I think he's got to figure it out for you. Is that right? Isn't that your coach?
Yeah.
Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah. Who my wife is in love with. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which my wife is now a Bengals fan, but number one in her heart when it comes to coaches is definitely one Kevin Stefanski. So yeah, she's
not a Zach Taylor girl, huh?
No. She's all about that shortly trimmed salt and pepper beard.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, man. How did you? Do you think about your presentation of yourself when you're leading chants and stuff? Do you think about what you're putting together for your clothing, or do you and do you think about moves and stuff? Do you have a David Lee Roth thing where all right, here's what I'm going to do, the karate kick?
Kind of in a way. I don't do many karate kicks because I wear a kilt, so that's probably not a good idea. So when I first started going to many the Bengals, I wear my jersey that I've had since 2001, I think. So it's jersey, and then if it's cold, I'll wear pants. If it's hot, I'll wear shorts.
Solid plan.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Hat, that type of thing. And then FC, it's almost a pageantry type of thing. It's not that I'm I wouldn't say that I'm competing with anybody to, be the loudest and be the, anything like that. But we as a club and as a supporter section are competing with other supporter sections. Like Columbus Crew, the Nordeca, I don't view them the same as we are now. Before, they kicked our ass. Now that we actually have people and we could, we get together and do the shala, and then everybody throws their hands up and it's all limbs. That's changed. But I've grown my beard for years and years and years because I was allowed to with being in the beer industry. And then started to adopt some different things to make it look cooler. Put braids in it. I have beads in the braids. I have long hair, so I'll braid my hair, different things like that. Put beads in that. I wear for years, I have an earring, and I change it every year. My first year in 2021, it was a long, wrestling feather,
Nice.
like what was the guy's name?
Mr. T?
Like Mr. T type, real long feather, and then
Oh, or Jesse Ventura. Yeah,
Jesse Ventura is the one I was thinking
the
of.
body.
Jesse the Body. Yeah, that's the one I was really thinking of. So I'll do that. I wear beads, different necklaces, stuff like that. Just go crazy with it, man. Then I wear a kilt. Then I always wear my kit, my jersey top. But no, it's definitely, I don't want to go out there looking like a bum. I know I kind of do because I got the long beard and long hair and a little disheveled. But and the Bailey, I guess, and I didn't know this until probably the middle of last season. They're like, Viking Josh. I'm like, my name's Josh. Everybody kind of refers me to as Josh the Viking or Viking Josh or whatever, that type of thing. So, like, once I realized that, hey, I should probably clean up my act a little bit. Don't flick off the camera. Like they put the camera on me a couple of times a game, and I mean, I don't know if it's because I'm directly in front of the, I don't know if it's because I'm directly in front of the drum line or not, or if it's because I'm fucking going crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're making a regular appearance.
Yeah, I'm dripping sweat and dancing and but no, I got a couple of go-to moves. I like to do the shoulder shrug, like, oh, what are you gonna do? Like the Michael Jordan or the whatever, whoever it is. I think one of the Boses do it. That type of thing. But yeah, it's definitely part of the wrestling gimmick. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I built it on, was like just looking at different wrestlers and how they do stuff. So
I appreciate that you use the term pageantry, because that is my favorite part of professional wrestling is the pageantry.
Yeah.
What a cool thing where it's like, okay, it's kind of sort of a sporting event, but at the same time, you got to look really cool and like have a character and be a thing. And then with like things like WrestleMania or when New Japan does what's their yearly show in January?
Oh, what is that one called?
There's definitely a nerd right now yelling at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yes.
Yeah, like the big shows like that where everybody shows out with like some crazy robe or like some kind of like
Okada has comes out and he's or the Rainmaker, and it's just dollar bills with $100 bills with his face on it and stuff
falling from the sky. Yeah, like watching stuff. I'm a huge Great Muta fan, and like seeing Muta stuff like coming out with like a cool skull and then having like a dragon perched on his shoulders, and it's like somebody had like actually built like a golden dragon that was big enough to fit on both sides of him.
One of my favorites. I'd never watched it as a kid, or like saw him in this gear, but I always was a big fan of Van Vader. Big Van Vader.
Favorite wrestler of all time, Big Van Vader.
And he's got the
Mastodon mask.
The Mastodon mask.
Yeah.
Oh man, he looks so freaking cool, man.
How can you go wrong with that? I mean, it's basically like a gigantic elephant grafted with football shoulder pads. Obviously, this is the most fucking awesome thing of all time. And its eyes lights up and it shoots mist out of its back.
So fucking cool, man. And then you got when WCW tried to do what was that guy's name? Glacier.
Oh yeah.
They tried to do that. I was like, what are you guys doing? Come on now.
Yeah. That weird Mortal Kombat period of WCW right before the NWO.
Yeah. It sucked so bad. And I was a kid trying to watch that, and I was like, this sucks.
That's when you know it's bad, when even like 8-year-olds are like, Jesus, get a fucking clue.
Yeah.
All right, big question. Which is better, pre-gaming at a bar or tailgating?
Ooh, buddy.
I asked the hardball questions on this show.
That's a tough one. So, for the Bengals, I'm a part of Bengal Jim's tailgate. They're Bengal Jim's before the Roar tailgate, technically. I think the longest running Bengals tailgate. He's been doing it since 1993.
Damn.
Yeah, right. Over 30 years
of Bengal Jim.
Yeah, Bengal Jim, which is a blast. It's Skyline Chili's involved. We have like 1,000 free conies every game. Donato's Pizza's involved with everyone.
Wow.
Normally they do either a hoagie or they'll do like slices of pizza. This year we got coffee. What's the name? I can't think of the name of the coffee.
Deeper Roots?
No, it's a bigger company than Deeper Roots, unfortunately.
Bigsby's?
I love Deeper Roots. Bigsby. Yeah,
Boom.
Bigsby's. Bigsby Coffee. Oh man, it's like there are some big things involved with that tailgate, but it's all free.
Nice.
The brewery I work at, 16 Lots. We supply all the beer. It's We normally have 3 different beers on tap. We actually brew a beer with the all-time icon in Cincinnati Bengals history, Kenny Anderson. And then it's really cool how we do it. Not to go off on Bengal Jim's tailgate, but what we do is we take donations.
Okay.
That's how everything works. And what we don't spend on buying, for instance, liquor for our bingle bombs, or we make hot toddies in the wintertime and margaritas in the summer, or Bloody Marys and stuff like that. What we don't spend on essentially keeping the party going, all of that goes to charities.
Nice.
And Ken Anderson Alliance is our main charity. But every game week, we change the particular charity. So we've done, Toys for Tots right before Christmas, etc. Which I love.
It's very
This
cool.
tailgate. I've been doing it for 6 years now. And I've been a part of it for 6 years, pouring beers or helping set up the jockey boxes to pour the beer, whatever it is. And I wouldn't even go to the games. I just go downtown and from at 9 o'clock in the morning and drink beers and help have fun and set up and tear down till 1 o'clock or 12:30. Really, we break down at 12:30, and then go back home and watch the game, or go to Knockback Nats, one of my best chicken wings in the city.
And what can we talk about their wings for a minute? Why are they so damn good? They are incredible.
They're incredible, man. I don't know. I went there right after Beer Fest last weekend and had the best ones I've ever had.
Yeah.
Literally just pull the wing. Like I'm a flat guy. You just pull the wing, the drums right out.
Yeah.
Or the bones right out. And it was great.
It's so good. Oh, shout out to my boy Nathan working there during the day, bouncing during the day. That's also, you got a quality bar. You have a bouncer during the daytime.
Yeah, that's but great place. But then for soccer matches, we don't tailgate. It's not a big it's not as much of a big thing in Cincinnati culture, just because the location of
Yeah.
the city, it's a little tougher.
Yeah, it's hard to do the lot thing, and it
Yeah.
always has been, because like when it was at Nippert, there's not really like a good lot
Yeah,
for
you-
it, and
like-
now that it's at TQL, there's not really a good lot for it.
Yeah, so my supporter group, we meet at Holiday Spirits, which is like we just kind of chose that one day, and great food in there, good service, pool tables, all that kind of stuff. Just kind of divey a little bit, which is kind of what our group likes.
The same,
And I'm a big dive bar guy. Forget the clubs. Give me the dive bars.
100% agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
Do I look like I'm here to dance? No.
Right? Yeah, I'm here to knock back beers and shots.
That things I'm good at. That dancing, no.
But before I formed my our supporter group, the Fifth Line, I was a member of other supporter groups. So back in 2017, when the USL days, etc., we would join Die Innenstadt, which is the German supporter group, means the inner city in German, and we would meet at Mecklenburg Gardens. Which, man, I miss that place so much.
What an incredible spot.
Oh, so good.
Can you describe the bar real quick to the listeners who might not be familiar with it?
Mecklenburg Gardens was the longest operating restaurant in the city, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was originally built in the 1840s. A portion, like the front bar, was built in the 1840s. German oak, or American oak, but like German architecture, just sheer beauty. Not all anymore, because unfortunately they've closed down, but majority of the taps were all either German,
Yeah.
Belgian, just traditional German, European style beers. And then
Big ass steins.
half liters,
Yeah.
full liters, just massive amounts of beer, and we would go there to pregame for the FC games, and then we used to go there for something called Mustard Club, which was a German Heritage Society meetup every month. And then now, man, they closed right before the new year, I think, unfortunately. And I drastically miss that place, like really bad.
It's a bummer, man. It's like one of those things where like that's one of those things where this should be like on some kind of historical record or something. Like this is one of those things where it shouldn't close just because of the value of what it is.
Yeah, but it's tough to sell.
Yeah.
That type of, not only that type of food, but I think maybe that type of beer to college kids.
Yeah,
You know what
and I was
mean?
gonna say, and that's the other thing where it's at. So, listener, it's super close to like Clifton, it's in Clifton. It's where the University of Cincinnati is.
Yeah.
So, and if you know anything about like colleges and cities, it's kind of like, well, the college kids have their and they stay there, and then we don't go there because who wants to drink with a bunch of fucking 20-year-olds?
I definitely don't.
Yeah.
And step on sticky floors like Top Cats or whatever.
Yeah.
No, Mecklenburg Gardens is that was my old pregame place. Then eventually became like my once a month going there once FC moved to the West End downtown. And away from Clifton. I still went down there once a month for Mustard Club and loved it, man. I love that place so much. Sad to see it go, but things change. Can't always have what you want. But yeah, I think it's tough to say which one I prefer, tailgating or pre-gaming at a bar. It's just too. It's always going to be culture. I'm a culturally driven person. Just like the essence of a tailgate is so special. Like it's like-minded people and beer and just like, I don't know if you've ever been to, there's another awesome tailgate for the Bengals called Lot B. Even if you go to another Bengals game next season, go check out Lot B. It's literally the stadium, and then there's like Lot B. Like these guys dress up in Pope costumes, walk around with the Virgin Mary and Jesus candles lit, but it's Joe Burrow and T.
really?
Higgins, and the one guy gets up and does a prayer, and then they do a tap. They bless the keg that they tap, and it's just like
Awesome.
Guys our age, just having fun, being goofy.
Yeah.
They do like all kinds of different competitions. They'll do like hula hooping and it's literally insane. Especially on those Monday night games.
Oh yeah, dude.
Sunday night games, and it's just
night games are always a different breed when it comes to tailgating because now you get like it's like a weird daylight saving time, but for drinking.
Yes.
Where like now we can just start. We can start in the afternoon. It's fine. Instead of like getting up at like 5 to do a 1 o'clock.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get up at 5 and just start drinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you wake up at 8,
Yeah.
the game's not till 8 p.m.
Yeah.
You can start drinking it.
You got plenty of
2.
time. Yeah. Yeah. Have a sizable lunch and then put some work in. I'm with you. I have a hard time picking between the two where I do give the edge. And this goes back to our last conversation. I give to tailgating because of the pageantry.
Yes.
Because the one thing I do like about tailgating is you can literally express yourself as a fan, and like the amount of money people put into RVs and trucks and SUVs and like talking about just like the different grills people get and stuff. It's
stereo systems. I mean, these guys are bumping music. We have a DJ at Bingo Gems. Like 3CDC brings out a freaking a truck that's just literally made for DJs.
Yeah.
It's a booth. It's got a booth that lifts up, and what's her name? Trub. DJ Trouble. She gets up on there on the ones and twos, and it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just so over the top, but it's so perfect, and it is just like its own unique thing. And I've never been to a tailgate where someone's having a bad time.
Yeah.
Everybody's stoked. It's before the game. Nobody's won. Nobody's lost. Everybody's talking. If you got your buddy there who's from the air team, everybody's talking shit.
Yep, for sure.
It's a party.
Yeah, I got a buddy of mine that's a Niners fan, and I get him to go to the tailgates every once in a while, and he still refuses not to wear his Niners gear. I'm like, dude, come on. Yeah. They're not even playing today.
Yeah, they took the day off, man. Come on. Yeah. Well, okay, so how about this? So what tips can you give fans about surviving the elements? Because you're out here, rain, snow, sleet, whatever. how do you survive? What tips do you give people?
We're very lucky with the way that TQL was constructed. It's got an overhang that you could sit anywhere in the stadium, stand anywhere in the stadium, and you're really not going to get too wet. If you're in the first 4 or 5 rows, for a rainy day or a rainy game, you might get a little spritzed. You're not going to get drenched. But I will say that cold weather games, especially in the NFL, just bundle up.
Layers are your friend.
Layers. Don't, if you think, oh, this is enough, especially going to the Bengals games, and if you're up in the 300, the canopy, layer up.
Have you ever been the guy when it's cold, you take off your shirt to support the team?
I have done that.
Okay.
Yes, I have done that. Yes. Soccer for goals.
Nice.
When you score a goal, it's kind of a traditional
pop
thing.
the top.
If the listeners aren't, familiar with soccer culture, you score a goal, your team scores a goal, you take it off. Especially if you're, that puts you in the lead.
Mm-hmm.
If it's 1-0 or 3-2 and you just scored your third goal type of thing. So I've done it for that. I've never done it for the NFL. Funny enough, the first soccer game that I ever went to, I was in high school, right? And it was girls' team, and I was really into one of the girls. So a group of my friends and I got together, and we were like, let's go support the girls. We brought trash cans, metal trash cans, and big drumsticks. We're making noise and all that kind of shit. They loved it, obviously, but we would go in full body paint, and this is like fall time or something like that, so it's not terribly cold, but we go full body paint. I'd wear like a top hat, just kind of like goofy, silly stuff. We'd change. Sometimes we would go to almost every game. We'd travel to go 30 minutes to another game.
You really like this girl. You were trying so hard.
You would have saw her. You would understand. But no, so as far as taking the shirt off, I did that for those reasons. That's funny enough. It's only been for soccer. I've never done it for football. But I will say this is a pro tip for hot soccer games. Scarves are your best friend. The thin scarves are your best friend, because what I do. Shout out to Jimmy, Beer Jimmy. He works both the Bengals and FC, and he comes down into the Bailey every time to make sure everybody that's regulars and been regulars for years gets taken care of. But you take your scarf and you dip it in his ice bucket. Oh, buddy, that is a life game changer.
That's clean living right there.
Yeah, I'll take and for the listeners, there's 2 different types of scarves. There's the winter scarf, which is kind of thicker cotton, keeps you warm. And then there's the summer scarf, which most people don't want to really wear because it's still too damn hot to wear a scarf of any form. But you got to show some support. And like my supporter group has a Fifth Line scarf that we're actually just released this week on Tuesday for pre-order. And a portion of the proceeds going to charity. So
nice.
If you want to support charity, you can buy a Fifth Line scarf.
Where can they find you on Instagram or to get to it?
Fifth Line FCC on Twitter and Instagram. I believe we posted it on our Twitter, on our Instagram. I know for a fact on X. Sorry, it's Fifth Line FCC, and you could purchase that there. And we're the last line of defense, as we like to call ourselves. But we made a nice winter one, or a nice summer one, just because most of the season takes place in the summer. So it's nice and thin. But yeah, that's a pro tip. Try to find a beer man and ask first, obviously. Hey, can I dip my scarf down into your ice bucket here? And then it's nice and cold, and you can wrap it around your neck or your head or whatever and stay cool.
Hell yeah, dude. No, that is I never thought of that before. And now you're saying, like, this makes all the sense in the world.
Because there's really, really no way to stay cool in July when you're surrounded by, 25,513 of your best friends,
What's your time commitment on game day as a fan? Like, how long are you outside of the house for either the Bengals or for FCC?
So Bengals, I typically will get there if it's a 1 o'clock game, the lot, our lot that we can get into, will open at 9 o'clock. And then but I'll get there about 8:15, 8:30, kind of start staging some stuff, getting things ready. And then once the lot opens and allows us to move in our vehicle, I'll go ahead and, pull in our beer truck, start getting everything out. So I'm pretty much gone from the house from about 8 o'clock till the game will probably end around, on average, about 4, I think, right? About 3:30, 4 o'clock. And then you got to fake traffic. So I'm gone from 8 o'clock till about 5. It's a regular work day type of thing.
Yeah, you're putting in your 8 hours.
Yeah. And then FC Cincinnati, it's a much shorter game. Most people, it's only 90 minutes on average of play. So it's an hour and a half, then 15-minute break in between. But I will pregame at the bar for 4 hours before. So, if it's if it's 7 normally it's a 7:30 kickoff. That's about what time the games will start is 7:30. So I'll try to get to the bar at 3:30, 3:45 type of thing, and then usually I have a dog at home, so it's a little bit more difficult to be like, okay, well, I don't like to leave her longer than 8 hours.
Right.
So if I can have somebody swing by the house, let her out, feed her, that type of thing, it's a lot easier than, trying to be out from 3:30 till midnight.
Yeah.
Which I usually will do if I have somebody that's there, and sometimes till 2. It depends on it was fun. The match that we beat Philadelphia in the playoffs at home this season for FC Cincinnati. I left the house at 3. It was a 7:30 match, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't get back to the house until probably about 2:30 because we were out celebrating. And then I don't know what time I went to bed, man. I don't know. It might have been close to 4 or 5. It was there's quite a rivalry between FC Cincinnati and the Philadelphia Union. So beating them in the playoffs was just so good.
It was so good. Yeah. Well, and especially with the whole Noonan thing, like with him coming
Noonan
over here
and Albright.
Yeah. Like that felt incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like you hit upon it there for a second. Just how I love that with soccer games, it's just so much shorter. It's like an hour and a half total, and it's just in it again, continuous clock. It's just moving.
There's no timeouts. There's
no downtime.
Even watching it on TV is, in my opinion, a better product than the NFL or baseball because there's just no timeouts.
Yeah,
and
you can't
have to wait for commercials.
Yeah, commercials. Yeah.
So it's 45 minutes, maybe plus 4 or 5 there. So it's 50 minutes of constant play. I think it's 15 minutes break and then 45.
Yeah, you're right back into it.
And it's that's one reason that I really, really enjoy soccer.
All right. So talk to me about this. What is it like on game day when you have to deal with fans from opposing teams that you don't like? When the Steelers come to town, when the Crew comes to town, what's that like interacting with people from teams you don't like?
So most of the time it's, if it's somebody coming to town, like our tailgate, Bengal Gym's very welcoming, right? And we have anybody can come in wearing any jersey and you're more than welcome to join the tailgate and experience it and et cetera. But, if you start talking shit, best believe it's not going to end well for you, So it's one of those things. The Steelers and the Ravens, that's a bit of a different story. I'll talk a little trash when I'm pouring their beer, like, hey man, like they'll put their, $5 or $10 or whatever in for donations. Say, man, it's going to cost you double, just a little friendly banner, like that type of thing. But no, if it's like the Minnesota Vikings, I don't care, but teams that I hate, I might give a little bit more shit to. Soccer, on the other hand, if I see them walking by, Holiday, Spirits, it's
You're chirping.
I'm chirping a lot,
chirping?
especially with Columbus this past year because we had the Ohio Revised Code 9.67, which was the Art Modell rule, which did not allow a publicly funded team to leave the state of Ohio. That's why the Columbus Crew kept their team. And this past season, when they would be walking by, I'd be like, "Oh, Mike DeWine, he saved your club. Oh, Mike DeWine, he saved your club." Stuff like that, It's still chirping and the trash talking, but no, it's X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. It gets a little feisty. More fight. I get a little bit more feisty on that with soccer talk, just because I know nobody's going to do anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of keyboard strong people out there, but no, I'm for the most part, I'm a pretty joyous fan, and I'm not going to ride you too hard. I got a good friend of mine that's a Niners fan, and we were, talked about it a little bit. I was, a little rough on him about losing this past Super Bowl, but I can't say too much. They've got, 5 or 6 of them or something like that. We have none. So
That's true, but there's definitely got some dust on him. It was
Yeah.
like 95 was the last one.
something like that.
I mean, it's been a minute. It's like
It's
them and the
been a minute.
Cowboys.
Yeah,
You know,
the Cowboys. I love ribbing on the Cowboys.
how
man.
can you not?
I mean, that one I do love because you can't call yourself America's team and go, man. They're coming up on 30 years almost of not winning a Super Bowl.
It's been a minute.
Yeah,
I also love watching them play and Jerry Jones just melt down in the box.
yeah. And I hate to say this, but they're not going to do anything until championship wise until he's gone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, until he just either moves out of his position, out of the way of the people who the game's changed so much since even the 90s. You know, I think he bought that team back in the 70s for pennies on the dollar of what it is today. And the game's changed so much from, Jimmy Johnson and, how about them Cowboys?
Yeah.
And
Well, and especially then with not having the salary cap on the level it is today, you know,
Yeah.
where you could get a team where it's like, hey, if you got, if you got Jerry Jones money and you can afford to pay for Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith and
Michael Irvin,
and all at the same time,
Deion
on the sa-
Sanders, yeah, for
and
sure.
just stock this team full,
Yeah.
and now it's a bit of a different world. And man, it's got to be so weird to coach that team and have him come yell at you and just be
Yeah.
like, hey man, what are you doing right now? Why are you involved with any of this?
Yeah,
What is
why are
happening?
you? I understand that you own the building, but why are you in the locker room talking to the players right now?
Yeah.
we get ready to play in 30 minutes. But on the salary cap thing, that's a lot of people ask me, who's my EPL team or my European team or anything like that, and I don't really follow any clubs over there as far as soccer goes. And that's the reason why there is no salary cap. It's the same 6 teams. I mean, look at the Bundesliga, the German league.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich has won it 10 straight years. The best league in Germany has been won by one team for 10 straight years. And that's what I think makes American sports and soccer in particular very interesting.
Yeah.
There's a salary cap, man. And there's more than just a salary cap. There's GAM and TAM and all kinds of crazy rules that I don't understand. I'm not smart enough to understand that. But that's why you hire a guy like Chris Albright to figure it out, so.
100%. And I agree with you. I do like there being some control where you just can't buy a championship.
Yeah.
Or at the very least buy your way into the playoffs every year.
Yeah, it's the old Yankees,
Oh,
you
the
know,
Yankees thing. Yeah.
it's that's what made, I think, the Reds of the 70s, the Big Red Machine. I think that's what made that team so special. They didn't buy any of those guys. Most of those guys were brought up, through the farm system, or were local guys like Pete Rose and stuff like that, where they found him and that's my guy. And that's what made those 70s Reds so special.
Yeah. And I heard at one point like the Yankees make so much money off just their baseball caps because like the New York Yankee baseball cap is in other countries and stuff, and even for people who don't watch baseball, like it's an iconic logo. It's akin to like the Playboy Bunny or like the Von Dutch trucker hats that were out
Yep.
years ago, where it's just like people see that and they're just like, oh, that's cool. I mean, Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit with the backwards Yankee
Yeah,
hat, the
a
hat.
red Yankees hat.
Yeah.
But you couldn't wear a Cincinnati Reds hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
But
and I would say that the Reds hat is probably up there as far as cultural influence. It's not Yankees hat. Don't get me wrong, but the Cincinnati Reds hat with the C, you see it all over the country, probably all over the world.
I will say hands down, Mr. Redlegs is my favorite mascot of all mascots.
I'm a Rosie.
You like Rosie?
Yeah. I mean, that's the sexiest mascot I've ever seen. I mean, she is a hot ass mascot. Actually, I try to go to. We do this thing every year. A bunch of us, probably 15, 20 of us, we do a double dip. Go to the Reds game and then an FC game. Usually it's on a Saturday, which is awesome. Sometimes it falls on a Wednesday. It's a little tougher. But one year Rosie and Mr. Red came. We were at the Handlebar, funny enough, and they came up there. We had this big poster, like 6x3 banner, said Sports Day 2021, and we part 1 and Reds, all this other stuff. And she came up and got a photo with us, and I was like, oh, there is a woman under there, and you feel like you're pretty attractive. But she gave me a hug. I was like, hey, she's my all-time favorite mascot. I like Gary a lot, the Gary the Lion. I think he's a cool, the FC's mascot. More so than Houday. I think Houday's cool, don't get me wrong, but
I just like the thought that Rosie Red hit you with. Now you're like, oh, damn it, lady. Now I got this kink I didn't know I had. And now it's
almost like I'm a furry, but I'm not.
But I'm not. But oh man, I'm definitely gonna talk to a therapist. Right now. Okay, I'm accepting this now.
No, the worst mascot though in Cincinnati is Gapper, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
What a shit mascot Gapper is. Why? They're like, hey, we should rip off the Philly Fanatic. It's like, no, you shouldn't. You should not rip off the Philly Fanatic. That is dumb. Don't turn the Philly Fanatic red.
I think the underrated one is the Cyclones mascot.
Oh,
Where the tornado, and he slides
On
down the
his
ice
head?
on his head. Really freaking cool. Underrated mascot.
hardest working mascot in the city, right
Without
there.
that, without a doubt.
No, who else is doing a handstand on ice? Nobody.
Nobody.
Nobody's doing it.
I mean, the Bearcat might be doing some push-ups at games or something like
Right.
that, but he's not doing a headstand on ice and sliding 30 feet. You know what I mean?
Much respect to you, Cyclone mascot. All right. Well, besides football and soccer, like what other live events do you like to go see?
Live music, big live music guy. I'm a metal guy through and through. There's a certain genre of country that I like, and that's more like Chris Stapleton.
Oh, cool.
That type, as opposed to Kenny Chesney or something.
Right on. I'm a Jason Isbell, Sturgill Simpson guy.
Yeah, I love Sturgill.
Yep.
Big fan of Sturgill. I love. Oh boy, you asked me too quick. Why can't I think of his name?
Billy Strings.
Billy Strings. Big fan of Billy Strings.
People love that
Tyler
kid.
Childers. I
like Tyler.
Childers.
Yeah, Tyler's good.
I really want to go see a guy from Texas, Charlie Crockett.
Okay.
Super talented, kind of plays that old school 50s country, a little bit more, production to it. And then there's this guy up out of Saskatchewan, Coulter Wall. And I'm telling you, one of the coolest voices I've ever heard in my entire life. The kid's like 23 or 24 years old.
Nice.
Sounds like 65-year-old Johnny Cash after he smoked 6 packs of cigarettes. Just a voice that just is incredible. But favorite shows are metal shows. I'm a big doom metal guy. Monolord.
That Monolord's cool.
I saw them when they came to were they at Urban Artifact a few years ago? Maybe Southgate. I love that type of metal shows. I think they're live and fun. I don't mind going to big festivals. I used to go to a lot of Celtic festivals, and a lot of that was for live music, and the culture. And that's kind of my culture too. I'm Scots Irish, but yeah, that's kind of like live music's a big thing for me. I'm used to. Funny enough, I traveled a lot with prior to getting into beer, and I worked a lot in New York City, so I'd go and see a lot of Broadway shows.
Oh, nice.
I saw I've seen like Hairspray on there, but I also saw like Jersey Boys. The funniest one, well, I guess the rarest one. I wouldn't say the funniest one. It's kind of sad, but Spider-Man. Spider-Man had a Broadway show.
I heard about that.
It was
And
a
they had all
disaster.
sorts of technical production
Yeah.
issues and stuff.
But they got through. I can't remember. I think it was about an hour and a half long show. They probably got through 50, maybe 60 minutes of it before there was any issues. And I'll tell you, it was. I mean, I've probably seen 12, 15 shows on Broadway. It was the most creative, like, space utilization I'd ever seen. Like they had him on the back wall climbing, and they would like scroll, like almost like there was a video board, not a video board, but like a projection screen type of thing, scrolling like he was running up the building. He'd be swinging through and above the crowd, and then like where it got messed up is he got tangled up like directly above me, and he's just hanging 30 feet in the air,
And he's stuck.
and he's just stuck there. And it's like, well, folks, we have some errors here, and we can't keep going on with the show. So it's like, do I get a refund? No, well, we made it through over 3/4 of the show, so you don't get a refund. Oh, great. And then I stuck around waiting and waiting for him to get going, and they kept postponing it or whatever. Then I missed the freaking. I was staying in New Jersey at the time with some family friends, and missed the train to New Jersey.
Oh, no. Oh, damn, dude. Okay, that sucks.
So like Spider-Man on Broadway, fuck you.
I'm just thinking about some guy being like, hey, Frankie, get the cherry picker. And it's like, God damn it again. Okay. Yeah,
we
we'll
did
get
this at last night's show, guys.
Yeah, come on. I'm with you. I like music live. I like metal shows live. Anything where I get like a cool like laser light show I'm into.
Yep.
I'll see. Pretty much. My wife put it to me like this once. She's like, "There's a lot of bands I don't like, but if it's live, I'll watch it." And I'm like,
Yeah.
100% agree, because there's stuff that like she's into that I'm not into, but we go together. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's nice. I like pro wrestling live. Pro wrestling live.
Oh
is
my
fun.
god, it's the best.
Yeah.
I love pro wrestling live.
And it works no matter what size. You
Yeah.
can be in a high school gym. You can be in an arena.
Yep.
It's fun.
It's I know it's all based from carnivals, right? Like it's just like it's kind of carny like ish, but it's so much fun. And like the fans are as big of a part of the show as the actual wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
It is kind of like Rocky Horror Picture Show esque, because
Yeah.
like you know when to boo, you know when to cheer.
yeah, and you know when to do the chant,
Yeah.
like I'm a huge mark, as they say, or a fan, mark in wrestling terms, of Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF.
Yep.
He just made his debut on WWE.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he came out in the Royal Rumble.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he was like one of the last entrants, and his music hit, and people erupted, man. So I mean, but for the listeners, like this guy is a heel, so he's like a bad guy, and people love to boo this man. For years, they booed him and booed him and booed him, and then he just got so good at being a bad guy. You love to hate him so much that people started cheering for him, and what was his saying? He said, "I'm better than you, and you know it." But it's like, we were talking a little bit before the podcast, like the Ric Flairs of the world, and that's what makes wrestling fun. It's not necessarily being a great wrestler, which is a key, but it's the pageantry. It's it's having the catchphrases, it's being The Rock, and seeing if you smell what I'm cooking, and all hell yeah, Stone Cold, that type of stuff. So
It's just a weird thing, because number one, it's theater in the round, which that first of all is a weird thing, because like you hardly see anything where it's just in the center of the room. Like Metallica plays that way, and sometimes you'll see some plays that way, but it's rare that that's the way something's presented where it's not on a stage. And then you get into this weird Venn diagram of like you have to be an actor on some level, you're a stuntman on some level, you're like, but you're an athlete on some, like, it's a weird mixture of skill sets you have to have. Like, you might be the best person doing backflips, but like if you can't connect emotionally with the crowd, it doesn't matter. You're just a guy who does backflips.
Exactly. And yeah, you'll be on that show and maybe you'll wrestle, every week, but you're not going to be the number one guy. You're going to be fed to the number one guy. You know what I mean? And it's a fascinating business. I kind of actually had interest in it for the longest time, trying to do it, and it just never, pulled the trigger on it. I still contemplate it and be like, hey, maybe I could be like a manager or like an announcer or something like that. But yeah, I think wrestling is live is just fucking fascinating.
Yeah, it really is that combination of like kind of a rock concert meets a sporting event. It's just its own unique thing. It's fun.
Meets a soap opera.
Yeah, very much so. Yes, 100%.
It's soap opera or soap opera sporting event rock concert.
I also like MMA live. That's also a good time.
I've been to probably 5 or 6 live UFC events.
Oh shit! Wow.
I was actually out in Vegas and this past March, so about a year ago, for John Jones' return.
Oh whoa!
I was at that fight, and that was cool.
Yeah.
Like that place erupted when John Jones came out. Funny enough, what's the Roadhouse remake?
Oh, with Conor McGregor
and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
They filmed that while I was there.
Really?
The entrance for Jake Gyllenhaal's character, and then he got in and I guess kind of sparred or fought, for I don't know, a round or two. But yeah, and then he did another entrance again. I think he comes out to American Badass by Kid Rock.
By Kid Rock?
I think in the not to spoiler alert.
Spoiler
I'm pretty
alert.
sure that's what they played for when I was out there. But yeah, I love UFC. My favorite fighter's Forrest Griffin, always will be.
Hell yeah.
Love that guy.
Forrest is great. How
Yeah.
can you cheer against Forrest Griffin?
He wrote a book.
Oh, I read that. Yeah,
How to Survive
yeah.
the Apocalypse or whatever it is. When he talked about Anderson Silva, I don't know if you remember that part where he talks about fighting Anderson Silva, and he said the fight or flight instinct kicked in after the match because he wakes up and he gets up and just runs back to the locker room. He's like, man, he kicked my ass so hard I woke up and just was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
I remember watching that fight, and from the jump, it was very obvious that like Forrest was just was not in the same level.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody knew that going in, but at the same time, it's just like, dude, hats off for you for being such a tough son of a bitch. You're like, yeah, I'll take this.
I'll try
fight.
it.
I'll do
Yeah,
this.
for sure.
And then like once it got to the point where like Anderson was like backing up against the fence and just dodging stuff, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, we all knew, man, that was fun watching him fight Anderson Silva. What a specimen.
What a special dude that I'm happy that I lived in a time period where I did get to see that dude fight.
Yeah, especially in his prime.
Yeah, 100%.
In his prime when I'll never forget him. Who was he fighting when he laid down?
Was it him, or was it Nate Diaz that laid down? Did Anderson lay down? It was Nate to Spider.
Yeah, that's what it
Silva,
was.
Yes. Yeah, that was hilarious. All right, fuck, marry, kill, porta potty, trough, or a bathroom stall without a door.
Oh shit.
Again, we ask the hard questions on this podcast.
All right, so I'm gonna marry the bathroom stall without a door.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty comfortable. Even if I got to take a shit, I think I'm okay.
You feel you're going with prison rules where it's fine.
If it really, because it gives you the option, and I hate shitting in a porta potty.
Yeah,
that's the worst.
No, that is no.
That's the worst.
That's a bad shit.
But so I'm gonna go marry. I'm gonna marry the bathroom stall without the door.
Okay.
I'm gonna fuck the trough. I'm gonna kill the porta potty.
Killing the porta potty.
Yeah.
You prefer a trough to the porta potty?
Yes.
Porta potties are this low on the scale.
Yes. I hate porta potties. They smell.
They do smell.
And B, like I said, I don't really like. It's a lot easier. I don't have to open a door.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to stand in line usually. Usually for a porta potty, you have to stand in line, especially at a tailgate. I've gone to the bathroom many times on tailgate.
Yeah.
Porta potty. And trough.
The trough
Just easy. I don't have to worry about where I'm spraying. You know what I mean? If I'm drunk, gonna put my hand on the wall.
With troughs, I have so much PTSD from being a child and being
Oh,
in games
yeah.
because like you're just like head level with like dudes' dicks and you're just
Yep.
getting nothing but splashback and it's like this is terrible.
Yes.
Like, but then when you become a man, you're like, oh, I understand why troughs exist now because it's just dudes drinking and then everybody's just on the same level of we all just look ahead and nobody looks down and it's totally
Yeah,
cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would venture to say urinal's probably like one of the greatest things men ever invented.
Oh, with the side door, with the sides, so then you just got your own little space. Everybody's
Yeah,
cool.
It's the best.
Yeah,
Just got to follow the rules.
Yeah.
One in between.
One in between. Yeah, don't. It always weirds me out when somebody like rolls up. It's like, hey, man, did you not get the memo? Like, how did you get this far in life and not figure
You're
out
a
that?
50-year-old man. What are you doing, bro?
What are you doing? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nightmare situation with that. All right. As we before the final question, just kind of one thing I want to ask for the listener is any specific do's and don'ts of being a live sports fan. Is there anything that as a live sports fan you should do, or is there anything as a live sports fan you should never do?
Live sports fan, if you're at if you are if you're at your home team's home field or your team's field, noise. Always noise.
Mm-hmm.
That's baseball game, soccer, anything. And the only one that I would say is not, and I've been to it, except for one hole, is golf. I've been to the Waste Management because I lived in Phoenix for years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Waste Management tour.
No. What's going on here?
They have, there's I think it's the 16th hole. It's a par 3. And the entirety of the hole is surrounded by stadium seating. And if somebody hits up a hole in one, people throw beer cans, spray. They'll, just shake their beers, throw shit take their shirts off. It's wild. They scream and yell. And normally in golf, it's, quiet on the tee. Well, there at that particular hole, it doesn't matter. Like I think they seat it's like 15,000 people or 10,000
Holy
people.
shit.
It's huge.
Whoa.
You should look it up sometime. It's called I think they still call it the Waste Management Tour.
All right.
Or the Waste Management Open.
Okay.
And it's actually on the hell did they call the PGA Tour?
Nice.
And professional golfers, Tiger Woods played on it, Phil Mickelson, all these guys have played on it. And back when I lived there, I'd go every year. It's always the same weekend of the Super Bowl. And I'd go every year, and it'd be fun. The one other fun part of it is the golfer would hit the ball, right? Mm-hmm. And then the caddies would race to the golfer's ball, and whoever got there first, it wasn't anything that you didn't get a prize or anything, but the crowd would be cheering on the caddies, the guys carrying the clubs to get to the fucking ball. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
It's unreal. It's one of the coolest events I've ever been to. But make noise at every sporting event if you are a home fan, unless your offense is on the field in the NFL. Be very quiet.
Then chill.
I guess don't be loud when the offense is on the field.
Yes.
If you're away fan, don't be a dickhead. Just don't be a dick.
Just be chill.
Just be chill.
Just be chill.
Don't if you're surrounded by the other team. If I go to Pittsburgh, I'm not going to be a dick.
Yeah.
Stand up and rub it in their face after we beat them.
Yeah.
That type of thing. Then another thing would probably be don't drink too much. I mean, there's a know your limit type of thing. Don't be what's
Drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly. The famous Columbus Cleveland fan.
Oh,
with the mullet, and I don't know if you've ever seen that.
The guy that was on social media, he was just like rocking.
He was at a
back and
Bengals game just like this. I saw him walking outside the stadium, and he was just sitting there, just passed out drunk. Like, just don't drink like that, I mean,
That's got to be so wild to like wake up from that and just be like,
where the fuck am I?
where am I? And it's like, oh, I'm outside of a stadium.
Yeah,
I'm
Cincinnati, and I live in Cleveland. But I guess the guy's like known for that,
which is also wild.
Yeah, which is like, what the fuck do you mean? You get shit-faced drunk and don't even remember the second half of the game? Like, that doesn't sound like much fun to me. Now, don't get me wrong, I've done that.
Yeah,
but I'm not like
that,
throwing up on myself or on somebody else or something like that. I get home, it's like, man, I probably shouldn't have drank that or smoked that and tried to, I don't remember the second half. You know what I mean? So it's, that's what I would say. Just do things in moderation.
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy with the bad.
Yeah. But, and if you do, fully expect people to just rag on you for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah. Especially now with the internet being a thing.
Yeah.
You can't escape it. Listener, be on your P's and Q's when you go to a live sporting event.
Yeah. Same thing with live music. Do not ruin. Then that's what it kind of does, especially for if you're like getting sick on people or live music. It
is weird when
being loud and Bud Freebird, that type of shit. Like,
it is weird at concerts where people get so annihilated. It's like, how you can't remember this? Like, why are
you just paid $65 to see this
be
guy
here?
play?
And you're just completely blasted. It's just, I don't get it. I mean, maybe this is just a man who is lived life and made some mistakes and has come out the other end. But it's just one of those things.
We're getting old, bud.
Yeah, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Well, look, before we jump out of here, is there anything that you wanted to say that we didn't talk about or anything you wanted to get into?
I think for the most part, we covered all our bases. The only other thing that I kind of, I guess, have a hobby in is, we talked a little bit about it before the podcast, is video games, man.
Video games, dude.
Yeah, video games, and in particular the stuff going on over at Microsoft, and possibly releasing some of their exclusive games to other consoles, and just the way that the whole industry is moving, especially away from the console wars a little bit. Mm-hmm. Moving more towards online phones and MMOs and all that kind of stuff.
That's a weird thing.
It'll be a very interesting thing to watch over the next 10 years.
Yeah, the phone thing I did not see coming. Yeah. And it totally makes sense that it just filled this space that just, because it was mostly non-gamers, but it then became like a transition that non-gamers got into, and then all of a sudden gamers were like, oh, this is nice as well.
Yeah. I mean, I've watched I see those ads all the time for even like that, what's that company, Backbone, which I'm not familiar with. I've never seen one in real life. I don't know how they operate, if they're good or not. But man, you can stream a game, like a PS5 game, onto your phone and just,
which is nuts.
It blows my mind. I remember the Sega Dreamcast. That was the first console that you could play online. Right. You know what I mean? You could hook up a phone line and the old dial tone,
I mean, I remember playing a monochrome Game Boy where it was just, it was green and black. That was it, and it's just to be able to be like, yeah, you can stream a PS5. It's like, holy shit, this is amazing.
It makes me feel real old. I see sometimes those vintage video game stores, they refurbish Game Boy Colors, and it's like, shit.
Yeah, dude. It definitely makes you feel the gray in your beard when you see that. You're like, yeah. Hey, to tie this together, do you play any sports video games? Are you a Madden guy? Are you a FIFA guy? Anything like that?
Growing up, I was a Madden guy, big Madden guy. And then at just some point, I think it was probably about 2008, I felt like the game started really going downhill. FIFA, I love FIFA. Mm-hmm. I was a NBA 2K guy forever. I don't play it as much as I used to just because I don't have the time. And then probably, I would actually say, as far as Madden goes and its early competition in the early 2000s, the 2K series, I loved the 2K series.
So good. It was
Yeah,
so
I mean,
good.
2K5 was probably
Yeah.
the greatest football game ever made.
It's in the running. It's awesome. I put it up there with like the later NCAA games they did.
Yeah.
I think 2014 was the last one
Yep.
on that people are still
Speaking
playing. on.
of, you see that today?
2025, baby.
I might have to get back into sports video games again. You know?
I'm in the same boat. If they're bringing back NCAA football,
yeah. I mean,
I can't. Come
you
on,
can't say no.
No, I can't. I can't say no because honestly, that was one of my favorite experiences. I remember. I think it was 2003, 2004. My life sucked. I was working overnights at a Target in Columbus, and the only thing good in my life was I had NCAA 2004, and I decided to try and win every rivalry trophy in the game.
Yep.
Dude, that's so much fun.
That 04 game, that game was so good.
Yeah, and just the idea of like being able to win like all these weird trophies that were rivalries between teams,
Yeah.
like winning like a telephone between like Bowling Green and Toledo because at one point their sideline phones got switched to the opposite side so they could hear the plays coming in, or winning things like the keg of nails or Paul Bunyan's axe.
Yeah.
It's just all the weirdness.
Paul Bunyan's axe is one of the cooler trophies in the league and NCAA, I think.
The Illabuck, which was originally a live turtle, it was passed back and forth between Illinois and Ohio State.
I did not know that one.
Yeah, dude, the Illabuck is weird.
Yeah.
And what's funny about that is they actually had a real tortoise because they were like, oh, it's this thing that's going to live for like a century and we'll just toss it back and forth. But they did it in like the 40s or 50s back when, you know, they were just like, what do we feed it? Hamburger meat? I don't know. And this thing died within like a 2-year span or something.
Jeez.
And so after it died, they were like, all right,
Let's not do that.
yeah. And so now they pass back and forth a wooden tortoise. And the belly they do every decade has all 10 games of the decade on the belly of it
That's cool.
with who won and who lost.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So
I had no idea about that. I'm a Buckeyes fan.
yeah, NCAA football, dude. There's
Yeah.
just so much weird shit.
Yeah, pageantry, baby.
Pageantry. Hell yeah, dude. Well, let's land on this. So, is there any like bucket list items for you? Is there like a game you want to go to? Is there a stadium you want to visit? Like what's on the list?
I'll probably go like through the sports. I've been to quite a few different stadiums because I had the opportunity to travel with my old job. But as far as soccer goes, obviously, I already stated I'm not a huge fan of like European soccer. I don't follow anybody. But you've got to like go to some of those stadiums, you know, the Wembleys of the world, or the Anfield of like Liverpool, for instance. So soccer wise, it would be something like that, a stadium in Europe, and one that I think would be just really cool, just because of the cultural phenomenon that's taken place, is Wrexham. In Wales, I think that would be a really cool one to go to. It's not a huge place, but you know, it just looks, looks cool, and it's got history and all that kind of stuff. And then I would have to say, NFL wise, there's not really a stadium that really. I think maybe Jerry World, just to see it.
It's just so over the top.
Yeah.
I just kind of want to
There's
see
an
it.
art gallery in there.
Yeah.
Like what?
The weird jumbotron they have that when they first put it in was so low that punts were hitting it.
Yeah.
But still, I want to see that damn
Yeah,
thing.
I think that would be a bucket list just to go see. And then baseball wise, I've never been to Wrigley.
Yeah, I would
I've
like
never
to see
been to
that.
Wrigley.
I would
I'd
like to see that.
I'd like to go to Wrigley, and I'd really enjoy. I think I would enjoy Fenway.
I thought I was going to go to Fenway this year, and then because there was a conference I was going to go to in Boston, and when I went to go sign up for it, they'd already sold out.
Yeah.
And I was like, son of a bitch. That was my whole thing. I was going to go to the conference, and then I was going to go take a tour of Fenway.
Yeah.
Just to check it out. And
The
didn't
the
happen.
one that the coolest baseball stadium I ever went to was the old Yankees.
Yeah.
I went to the old Yankee Stadium, saw the Rangers and the Yankees in like 05, 04, something like that.
We did shit on them earlier, but what history, man?
Yeah, I mean, I hate the Yankees, but it's such a just how can you?
It's a piece of it was a piece
Yeah.
of America.
Yeah, it's not even just baseball history; it's American history.
Yeah,
You know.
it's the same way. It's like I would like to see something at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
What would I see? I don't know.
Yeah,
What do you got?
just to do it?
Yeah,
you know, and
just
I'm
to-
probably. I'm sure it's a shithole. Old Yankee Stadium was a shithole, but I went there. You know, and then as far as really, that's I guess the big three right there. And like hockey, I had the opportunity to go to, which was a shithole, but really cool cultural phenomenon. Montreal. I went to the Canadians place too. That was really cool.
That's rocking.
But I've heard that the Philadelphia place is an awesome place. The Flyers.
The Flyers play it. Yeah.
I've heard that's an awesome experience too. So probably that. Beyond that, I mean, like to go to different tennis places would be kind of cool. St. Andrews for golf would be really cool. But number one, without a doubt, is probably Wrigley.
Yeah, Wrigley is just such its own unique thing. It's one
Yeah.
of those things where nothing else looks like Wrigley and Wrigley looks like nothing else.
I
Like you
mean-
instantly know what it is when you see it.
Yeah, the Ivy.
The Ivy.
Wrigleyville.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The apartments around it, people building
Yeah.
up like their own little things where they can like look into the.
Yeah.
It's such an incredible thing.
Yeah, I had the chance to go to a Cardinals game. I went to a Reds Cardinals game, and they have that. I can't remember what their little village is called. Something like Budweiser Village or some shit like that. And really, just like that is really cool there. It's you go like to the banks here and go to the GABP. It's a cool experience, but it's not like that was. You know what I mean? And I guess that's hopefully what they're going to be doing with this potential new arena. So
Interesting. I like that. For me, I think me and my dad kind of talked about it just kind of offhand last week, and I kind of hope it happens. So the Browns are playing the Raiders this year. My dad grew up as a Raiders fan. I grew up as a Browns fan. He was like, "Do you want to go to Vegas and see a game?" Yeah, I would.
I'd love to go check that stadium out.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
yeah, I would like to check that out.
I just don't understand why they have that torch in there, though.
I don't understand.
Why is there torch does not represent
know.
anything about pirates or whatever you guys are trying to be?
Yeah. I like the exterior. I like.
Oh, yeah, it's
I like the
beautiful.
whole mirrored blacked
Yeah.
out thing you got going on. That's
Yeah,
pretty
It's
awesome.
pretty metal.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Looks like Death Star,
Yeah.
that type of shit.
Yeah, I would like to see that, and I would like to go to the Sphere. I think that's a super cool thing they
Yeah.
just did in Vegas.
I would love to see a show at the
Just
Sphere.
and again, anything. I don't give a shit. Like whoever you got, I will go see at the Sphere.
Yeah.
because I'm going for the light show.
Yeah, when I went out to that John Jones fight, it was at that the Knights new stadium, so it wasn't like at a casino or anything like that. That place is really nice too, like really nice. Because I when did the Knights join the NHL? Like 8 years ago.
Yeah,
maybe?
not very long
So
ago,
it's relatively
and they were
new.
instantly good.
Yeah, right. They won the Stanley Cup in like 2 years or something.
I've been really impressed by the course correction that Vegas did, where like Vegas went from like the thing where it was like, oh, we're in with the mob, and then it turned into like, oh, we need to be out with the mob. Let's bring
Yeah.
in families, and let's be like a weird Disney place, because they thought they would get more money by bringing kids into it.
Yeah.
And then it was like, dude, nobody wants to see someone's kid when like I'm down $5,000 at
Yeah.
blackjack,
And this kid's screaming as it's walking through through the lobby. Yeah.
Yeah, you're on like hour 30 of a bender, and all of a sudden there's like children in the elevator with you. It's like, no, stop.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Yeah.
But then they got into the thing where they were like, man, let's just bring sports here and more of that. So, I mean, home of the UFC, now bringing in the Raiders, what they did with the Knights, possibly Oakland maybe,
Yeah.
sort of, kind of, except the
Yeah.
owner fucked that deal
The
up.
mayor does not want them there whatsoever.
Yeah.
From something I heard. I can't remember where I heard that recently, but that might have fallen through.
Yeah, which is going to be weird now, because it's like, okay, so you don't have a spot in Oakland and you don't have a spot in Las Vegas. Like, where
what
do
are you
the
gonna do,
A's
man?
play? Like, where
Yeah.
are you guys going to play at? Like somebody, like a high school field or something
Yeah.
this year? What's happening?
Yeah.
After looking at your attendance last year, a
You
high
could.
school, even my high school fan, would be a bad thing.
But wasn't it the A's last season that somebody was having sex out in the out
Yes.
out in the stands?
Oh.
Just like chicks riding some dude
Yeah.
out in the seats. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
man?
and it's like, well, I mean, nobody else is here. And,
That's
you know,
another thing you shouldn't do at a live sporting event. Have sex.
Hey, listener, real talk. If you don't want to have to like go up to every neighbor you meet for the rest of your life, be like, so I got a sex crime. It's a cool one. It's a cool sex crime, but it's still technically I got to have this conversation with you. So yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, knock it off, listener. All right, Josh, man, thank you so much for doing the show. Hey, can you let people know where they can find you out online if they want to check out what you're doing?
Yeah, on Instagram, Twitter, pretty much everything. It's Lord_Duckworth. Yeah, pretty easy. Got questions about beer, sports, fun, stuff like that. Feel free to send me a
Video
message.
games,
Video games.
pro wrestling.
Yeah, anything. Brewery I work at, 16 Lots Brewing, and that's at 16 Lots Brewing, 1616. If you guys are interested in joining our supporter group for FC Cincinnati, it's at Fifth Line FCC 5 line. I don't know how you say that.
Fifth line, five TH line.
Yeah, 5TH line FCC. I'm feeling that last beer there, huh? But yeah, reach out to us. Love to have you join. Love to have you come down and have a couple of beers before the match, before the march, and yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Listener, you can find me at Neil1 on Instagram is where it's at. And thank you for listening to the podcast. If you got a friend that's into FC Cincinnati, the Bengals, or just live sports in general, share this podcast with them. And when you do, let them know that there's over 150 of these things. They're all evergreen. You can jump in whenever you want. You don't have to start at episode 1. If you see a podcast that you like on the list, just hit play and check it out. All right, Josh, man, thank you so much for doing the show. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you having me on, bud.
And listener, peace.